Hey guys, we are once again at Limited Cars and we have something special today because this is the Alfa 156 GTA, and today I want to talk to you about this car, the engine, and why it's so special, because this car has a 3.2 V6 and it's called the Busso V6. And Busso V6 is this kind of legend on YouTube, and that's because they look awesome and sound really good. So yeah, I'm going to let you experience this car today. And I think that the 156 GTA is the coolest car with a Busso V6. So as you may know, we have driven the Clio V6 here and a Beetle RSI. Don't forget to check out those reviews as well. They are in the playlist on our channel, and they also have a Clio V6 trophy hidden in the back. Very cool. Okay, let's get in and let me tell you something about this very special car. So as you can see, let me just this car is in a very neat condition. The leather is really soft, no scratches or cuts anywhere. It looks really nice, and an Alfa 156 in a neat condition is very rare, and that's why this car is offered at Limited Cars. This one has only done 45,000 kilometers, and it's the one from 2002, the year this car was released. Okay, let me turn it off and I'll show you what is so special about this car. Where is it? There it is. So this is it, the masterpiece, the Busso V6. So why is this called a Busso V6? Everybody keeps searching for it and commenting about how special the Busso V6 is. But let's start with why is it called a Busso? And that's because the inventor of this engine, Giuseppe Busso, he developed this engine in the 70s, and he was responsible for race cars at Ferrari. He built the 1.5 liter V12 at Ferrari, and he then came to Alfa to make special engines, and he sure did, because this really is very special. As you can see, you have the polished intakes, which looks just awesome. And the moment you open the engine bay, you just feel like this is a very special car because of that glorious engine. So this was the last Busso V6 build with 250 HP, and let me just close it again. After this came the 3.2 V6 from General Motors, which was featured in the Brera, and that was just a horrible engine. I really didn't like that. Okay, I just parked the car here for a bit of scenery, and the looks of the car, well, I think it looks really classic. Cars aren't styled like this anymore, and some people think it's a bit ugly, and I agree for a bit. It's a bit ugly, and that's why it's so beautiful. Okay, that doesn't make any sense, but that's just the way I think. Very special. These are 17-inch rims, but they look very big, with the classic GTA styling, with the outtakes in the rims. Looks really cool. and we have some aero parts which are only on the GTA, like this rear spoiler, this air thingy, what's it called, the side skirt, and of course it's lower and a bit wider than a normal Alfa 156. But the most special part about this car is the interior, because these bucket seats with this leather cool steering wheel, I think the interior is really, really cool. And the dials, the speedometer goes up to 300 kph. It's a bit optimistic, but it's really, really cool. And I love the way that the dials are pointed downwards. Okay, so we've had the cool stories, the looks of the car. What is it like to drive? Well, it's very, very special. I agree with a lot of journalists saying that this is maybe the best sounding V6 ever. It sounds so crisp, so sharp. It really is. You feel that that the engine is this hand-built V6 exotic piece of art. It really feels so special, even when you don't see it, even when you don't know the story behind it. As you know, this 3.2 delivers 250 HP, and it feels very, very powerful indeed, even in the mid-rev range. A lot of V6s have the power only at the top, but this even feels a bit torquey. It's quite special actually, but it also really wants to rev, and the more you rev it, the more exotic the sound gets. But this is an old beast. This one is from 2002, so I'm not going to push it and push it and push it. And this car isn't about pushing it. I've also driven the 147 GTA, which is a hot hatch, and a hot hatch you need to push. But in this estate 156 form, it all makes more sense, because this thing does want to understeer when you really push it, give it some power. It's just too much for the front axle, because this is a front wheel drive car. And that was the problem with the 147 GTA. And I think that this car is best when you just drive it like this at 60-70%, and you just enjoy the fabulous drivetrain, because the way it picks up after each gear, after each upshift, it's magnificent. And it's a shame that Alfa developed this piece of heaven of an engine, and Alfa combined it with the automatic sailor speed gearbox, which is terrible. Don't get the sailor speed. This is the one you want, just the 6-speed manual. It's gorgeous. Even when you drive it slow like I'm doing right now, this is a lovely noise. This is a lovely upshift. It's a great car. And I'm amazed how good this car feels, because as I said, this is the 2002 model. It was the first year the 156 GTA was made, and it really feels like new. There aren't any weird crackles or sounds coming from the engine or the car itself. It feels like it's just a year old. And as I said, that's a very rare thing, because a lot of 156 GTAs are in a very terrible condition. Because a lot of people, they aren't that expensive, and they put aftermarket exhaust on it, different intakes, and it just becomes this stupid car. And as standard, it's glorious. Yes, there are some drawbacks. The seating position isn't really good. The seat support is moi. The steering position, the steering wheel is only adaptable in height and not in length, so it's a bit far away. But if you just drive it, you just forget the little flaws, and it's such an enjoyable car. I even think the engine is nicer than the one in the Giulia Quadrifoglio. Yeah, it's like twice as powerful, even more than twice actually, but I don't care. It's about the experience, and this is an amazing experience. So the story of the Busso V6 is a very special one, because Giuseppe Busso died 3 days after the last Busso V6 was produced. This engine was its masterpiece, its life's work, and it really feels. As I said, after this engine came the 3.2 General Motors V6 with some alpha headers to make it a bit more alpha, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't as special as this. Thank you for watching this review of this fabulous car, this fabulous engine with such a great story. And don't forget, this car is for sale. It's in very good condition. It's very, very neat at Limited Cars. Pay them a visit. They have such cool cars. Thank you.